Hey guys, welcome back to another video on the Supercar Guy channel. Today we're taking a look at this Autophix 7810 BMW full system scanner with a good amount of special functions. This scanner is made for BMW specifically and supports most modern Minis, BMWs and Rolls Royces. So what does it mean when the scanner is BMW specific? Does it mean that other scanners cannot do these functions? Well, no, not exactly. It just means that this scanner will scan BMW specific modules and display live data directly from that module, as well as perform the special service functions and resets. Let's see what you get before we continue with those functions by looking at the box. So it's Autophix, full system auto scanner 7810. Just says it's basically good for your car and it can scan different modules. Basic functions, it can read clear codes and read data streams. Perfect. The special functions on here is that they can do CBS reset, clear adaptations for different modules, battery management, so you can register your BMW battery. Pretty cool. Electronic parking brake issues, so when you're doing your brakes, you can release the electronic parking brake, and much easier to change the brakes, and a few different other items. And of course, it has the basic OBD2 functionality like most scanners do. Now, of course, you get your manual. Pretty decent written, has a lot of screenshots or graphics so you can actually learn how to use it properly. So I like that. You can go off by pictures, you don't have to read the whole thing. You get your standard micro USB cable and the actual device. The device has soft buttons on here. Decent size, kind of standard size device for these kind of devices. There is no soft touch or any kind of rubberized type of material on the back. It's all hard plastic, but for the price I think that's pretty good. Yeah, pretty nice device. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go plug this into a car and see what it does, how well it performs, and what kind of special functions we can do on BMWs. Alright, so I'm in my car now and I plugged in the device. It only took a couple of seconds for it to actually turn on, which is pretty impressive. And then you're greeted with a 4-option menu. You have for BMW, OBD2, tool setup, and about. So let's start with the simple stuff. What's in this menu? Hit enter. Nothing really much. Just get your serial number and the software version. You then can go to tool setup. Here we can change the language. Beeper, I turned that off so it doesn't beep on camera all the time. Instructions for when you start up the device. Units of measure, so you can go between metric and imperial, and skin style. So if you don't like that color, you can switch to this one. I don't think it looks as good on camera, so I'm gonna go back to the original. And I kind of like this one, looks more modern. And feedback on test results, so you can get some information from the device if needed. Now, the other two options here at the top, this is the main functionality of the device. You have for BMW, so this will do all of the BMW specific items. And you have OBD2. This is the generic code scanning, that most devices can do. So, you know, imagine any scanner from like $30-$40 to, you know, unlimited budget. Basically, it will most likely have the OBD2 functionality that this scanner has. I'll show it to you later on very, very briefly, but this is not the main point of this device. The main point of this device is here. Before we go there, let's take a look at the buttons here. One thing I don't like here is that the enter button's here at the top and not in the middle. I'm just used to clicking enter in the center, and it's not there, so you have to go kind of to the top to hit enter, and exit or back button at the top. Not a big deal, but let's see what this IM button does. So if you press it, what it will actually do is scan the car to see if it's ready to pass emissions. As you can see, this one is just fine. But it gives you a nice, not graphical, but like a nice interface so you can easily tell if your car is ready to pass emissions or not. Exit out of that, and as you saw, it was pretty quick. This device in general is quick, which I like. We're going to go to BMW. Yes, so it says may not be compatible. Not every system can be compatible with every car and all that stuff, which is fine. So you can select BMW, Mini, or Rolls Royce. So we're going to select BMW because we are in a BMW, and then we're going to select Series 5. This is an F10. And here you're presented with 3 different options. You have basic functions, special functions, and erase all system fault codes. So this will erase everything that the car has, so if it has any codes, without specifically telling you what it is or going into each module. Pretty nice if you just fixed an issue and you want to clear everything out, and then drive the car and see if any issues pop up, and then you'll go deeper into the system to see what those issues are. Okay, so we're going to go into basic functions first. Here you have system scan or manual select. If you go to manual select, you have all of the possible modules that a BMW can have, or at least that this device supports, which is about 85, as we can see right here. But we're not going to do that. We're just going to do system scan. And what this does, it will scan all of the modules or systems that are available on this specific car. So I don't have to, select out of 85 modules that are, may not even be supported by this car. It will just do it for me. It'll scan each one, and if it is on this car, it will pick it up and scan it and give me information on that. So as you can see, one of the pros on this scanner is that it has lots of functionality on BMW specifically. It scans all of the modules and has a few special functions that we're going to look into in a little bit. Basic scanners cost around $50, and they can't do anything that this scanner can do other than the OBD2 functionality, of course. Some of the negatives here, only OBD2 functions are for all vehicles, and all of the stuff that you're seeing now is only for BMWs, but I think that's pretty clear in the name of this device. It can also be upgraded only via Windows computers, which is fine. I mean, most of these devices are that way unless they're Wi-Fi, but I prefer Wi-Fi, or if I can just upgrade it on any system. Now that the device scanned my entire car, you can see this car has 31 different modules. So we see that this one has some issues, the car access system, everything else looks fine. Airbag crash safety has a code in it as well. Central. So there are a few codes in here, but we're not going to go into that too much. So now let's just go into one of the modules and see what kind of information we can see other than that it has a code or the module is okay. So I'm just going to pick JBE. Click on that. All right, so it scanned it very quickly. We're going to read fault codes. Nothing here, so we're going to exit out. We can, of course, erase those codes as well. But the most important item here that a lot of people really appreciate is reading the data stream. So this is live data directly from the module itself, the specific module itself. It's not just OBD2 PID information. This is all of the stuff that the module reports. So even if the OBD2 port does not support those, you can still find them in here. So you can see, central locking system from passenger doors unlocked. And let's see, what if I lock it? Did you see that? Checked. So that's how quick it reacts. All of the data is live. So very cool in here, right? And of course, there's many different function selections or different sections or categories within each module. So this was JBE. Now if we go back to, let's say, central gateway module, I wanted to show you what we can see as far as the fault codes. So here, here's what you would see as far as a fault code, and you can scroll down through the different ones to see what those are. And the cool thing here is that these codes are BMW specific. So when you search for them, it's not just going to be a generic code, it's going to be a BMW specific code. So I think you get the idea that you can scan all of the modules on pretty much any BMW or BMW type car, and you will get to read and erase BMW specific codes, as well as see live data streams or live data. What else can we do in here? Well, if we go back, we can go to special functions. So this was just the basic functions. And to be clear, most OBD2 scanners will not do what this basic functions can do. All right, so we're going to go to special functions, and this is where it gets interesting. You have, what does it look like, 7 special functions in here. You have your CBS function. This will be for resetting oil changes, brake calipers, and or brake pads, stuff like that. So if you change stuff, you know how it blinks in your system telling you that you still have to change it? Well, you can reset those in here, so that's pretty nice. You also have your engine control module as well as the electric fuel pump. So if you replace your fuel pump and you need to reset it or adjust it to the car, you can easily do so from here just by selecting this function. So the car kind of treats the fuel pump a little bit different depending on how much usage it has been put through. You also have battery management, where you can register a new battery on your BMW. So just this function will pay for this scanner like double. This scanner is like what, $80-$90, and a BMW charges, I believe, $180 just for registering a battery. You can do this yourself with this scanner, and I actually have a video on how to do it with a different scanner, but very similar functionality. You also have your EPB, or electronic parking brake. This is from when you're changing your brake pads. On this car, it's an electronic parking brake, so they are squeezed together basically when the car is parked. So when you take the wheel off and you try to replace the pads, it will be very difficult to get them out, or you'll have to remove the actual electronic motor and then unscrew it manually. It's a mess. So you just use this function, it unwinds it for you, and you can pull the pads out. Super easy. You can also reset your steering angle sensor. So if you're getting issues, where your steering wheel is not straight in the middle, or you're getting codes for the sensor going wrong, or you replace the sensor, you can register it with this. And of course, you can clear adaptations. So what kind of adaptations? EGS. So if that means something to you, you know what it means, right? But these are all the special functions you can do on this scanner, which I think is very, very impressive for the price they're asking on this device. It's not very expensive at all. So what else do I think of this unit? Well, I think it's a really good unit for the price, for the $80-$90 that they sell this for. And they also have discounts on this pretty often. So they have like 10% or $10 or something like that off from time to time. I think that's a deal, because you can do so much on your BMW. Not only can you see all of the live data and read and erase BMW specific codes, you are also able to do those special functions, and it's simple to use. Honestly, there's a lot of scanners that you can get, but you really need to know what you're doing. If you check some of the reviews that I've done on other items, they're amazing. They can do a lot, but you better know what you're doing, right? You don't have coding or like actuation testing in this, but you can mess your car up with some of that stuff. So, for DIY, this is amazing. Now, if you want to see what OBD2 functionality does, I'll do a very, very quick one, just because I know some people might ask. You can read and erase codes. These are OBD2 generic codes. You can change that, or you can check that same IM readiness, so to see if the car will pass emissions. You have your data stream. So these are live PIDs from the standard OBD2 functionality, and you have vehicle information. That's it. So the very basic OBD2 functions that most scanners have. On that note, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you'd like to purchase one of these, check out the link in the description. For Amazon, of course, you can buy it whatever you like, but these are my affiliate links, and I would appreciate if you use those. Don't forget to comment, like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll be back with a lot more videos. Thanks for watching.